Hello, everybody. The question we're going to answer today is how do you build a good friendship, build a sense of belonging, even with people who have opposing views, or like, do you just cut them out of their life?
You know, if we cut out everybody with the differing view, I think it'd be really tough to have connections with people. Not saying it's easy, especially if their differing views are on things that are very important to you, like your morals or your values. If something that's super important to you and they have opposing views, it can be really hard to reconcile that. And I will admit that I have, um, pushed people away once who've had opposing views. And since then, I don't think I necessarily made the right call in that moment. But sometimes you lose good friends if you push people away with opposing views. So um, for strategies on how to do it, I would say focusing more on them as the person rather than their views. Their views doesn't make up that entire person. They can be an amazing friend. They get you coffee when you're down. You do homework with them. You might have a lot of good relationships with that person. So finding ways to, prioritize the person that you're with versus their views and how that opposes you. It's very tough, but I think that's one of the main ways to try and connect with those people. Additionally, really understanding where they're coming from with their viewpoint might help. And it is hard to convince people to switch their minds sometimes. But if you understand where they're coming from, it might make you either more empathetic or more understanding of their viewpoint, and you can explain yours as well. And at the end of the day, even if you don't agree on the same things, if you both agree that you're still good friends for each other, that each person has had their life experiences that have led them to that point, and they're not actively harming, killing, inhibiting other people from living their best life, then they're still a good person at the end of the day, and you have a friend. So trying to prioritize that might be what you do. But that's my limited experience. Akshay, what do you have to add?
I mean, first of all, I'm just glad that you said like this is not an easy thing, and it's not an easy thing because when you're not in the skin, for example, like there are certain things, certain values that don't doesn't really affect me, but I just think it's like morally good, ethically good sort of thing. So if you cross them, okay, cool, it happened. I mean, you did the wrong thing, but like it happened, and then like that's not like that is an opposing view, but you're okay with it. Whereas there are other things where whenever you see them, they can be a reminder to the opposing view. They can like in your head they can be the embodiment of what you think is wrong, and like when you're there, it's not an easy thing. And so the first thing you do is just like understand like it's not an easy thing. Give yourself some slack, because what you're about to do, to accept them, if you do choose to do that, is not an easy thing. But let's say you have decided, yeah, I do you do want to choose them. So the first thing is, like with the opposing views, as Ilakkiya said, try to understand where they're coming from. Um, and the thing is, to understand where they're coming from, sometimes we just ask them, like, why do you think that? They might give you a rational answer. But they might not really think you. They might not really give you the real answer, because that's just how our like, brain works. Like I probably put a study on this. To do that, you really have to sort of sort of empathize with them, try to get them talking enough, and then see what in their life changed it, and like, think about like, do they have opposing views? But then is it like a rigid view that doesn't change, or is it like a view that they are okay with change? Because like just because you have opposing views doesn't mean like it can never change. And then there are other times where okay, you have an opposing view here, but like do you connect with them somewhere else? Say like you have opposing views somewhere, but then you both like sports. And like when I say sports, I'm hoping you guys like the same sport. Like for example, cricket. If you guys both like cricket, then you guys can start talking about cricket, and start empathizing with like say for example, oh man, like Virat Kohli is like not the captain anymore, or like Chennai Super Kings won the IPL this time. So you can talk about those things, and then like slowly build a friendship, and then once you have a friendship, and then after that, when they have an opposing view, you might be able to reason with them more then, because at least you might give them a benefit of doubt, give them a second chance, because in your head at least like, you're like, okay, yeah, they're a good person, but they still have chosen to do this. And I think I personally think that's the way to go about it.
Yeah, I especially like what you pointed out at the end about similarities, because similarities, differences, just two sides of the same coin. Which one are you just going to give more merit to, right? You can get equally passionate and happy about a similarity as you can get disappointed and upset about a dissimilarity. So, choosing which one you make the priority is important. And this could be like a situation of do what I say, not what I do. But I assure you, I'm not a perfect person. I am working on this too. Yeah. No.
That is a very good point, and we did say it's a hard thing, so just keep trying, or find a way to not allow them to take away your sense of belonging.
Yep. And sometimes there are people who just have who you might not want to be good friends with. It's not even that they're opposing your views or anything. You just don't connect with them too well. And what if they're trying to get really close to you and be your friend?
Maybe you should try that. Let's have that conversation tomorrow.
All right. See you then.
Oh, you're still here? Well, thanks for getting to the end of the video. Hey, while you're still here, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get new updates when we post videos. Also, make sure to check out these equally exciting videos as well. Have you pressed it yet? Come on, you have 5 seconds left. 3, 2, press it now!